homestand didn't really start out the way the green and gold had hoped versus the Houston Astros. Losing 2 out of 3 to the last place Stros had Bo Mel and the boys frustrated as opportunities to gain ground in a pennant race slipped by. So the A's need to regroup in the East Bay. Up next, the Cleveland Indians, the team that swept them in a 4-game series on the shores of Lake Erie this past May. The Athletics would love to return the favor as these two teams sit right in the middle of the American League pennant race. It's game 1 of 3. A's Indians next. The 9-game homestand for the Athletics continues tonight as the A's are hosting Justin Masterson and the Cleveland Indians. It's the first of 3. It'll be Masterson and A.J. Griffin is your pitching matchup. So, 2 teams in the playoff hunt. It's the Indians and it's the Athletics. And it's coming up right here on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. A.J. Griffin tonight. He'll be looking for his 11th win of the year. And Ray, a lot of talk about the home runs he's given up. His last start, he did not give up any home runs, but he walked 6. So what'd you take out of it?
I'd rather see him give up home runs. You don't like to see the walks because you can get yourself in trouble if that happens. Unfortunately for A.J. in the start, everything was elevated. Everything was too high. And as a result, he walked 6 batters. But he has a tremendous curveball. He needs a pitch down in the zone. If he gives up home runs, so be it. Just don't walk, guys.
Justin Masterson is a 13-game winner this year. He's got great stuff, but Ray, hard to figure out. He has been absolutely horrible pitching here at the Coliseum.
It says a lot about a sinker ball pitcher when the ball doesn't sink. When he gets the ball up and it doesn't sink, this is what could happen. He gives up home runs as he did last year in a couple of starts. It seemed like every time he got the ball up, the left-handed power hitters took advantage of it, as you're seeing right there. He's too good of a pitcher to have those things happen, especially if he keeps the ball down. The A's hope he gets them up a little bit and they can hit some home runs.
So the Indians chasing the Tigers in the AL Central. They're chasing the Athletics in that American League wild card. So little pennant race baseball here at the Coliseum this weekend. It's the A's and it's the Cleveland Indians. Well, lineups and first pitch from the O.co when we come back.
Chestnut, California, is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Go big at a participating Jack in the Box with Jack's really big chicken sandwich combos for only $3.99 plus tax.
A.J. Griffin and the Oakland Athletics taking the field. We're just moments away from Game 1 of this three-game series. The A's and the Indians. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. Nice night. 69 degrees. So just a few clouds in the sky, not much. So Friday night baseball from the Coliseum. Two teams that have visions of playing in the postseason. We'll see if both of them make it. Nobody makes it. One of them makes it. Who knows? Still lots of baseball to be played. Here's the lineup for the Cleveland Indians. Bourne in center, Swisher at first, Kipnis at second, Santana will DH, and it's Brantley at left, Cabrera at short. Jan Gomes is the catcher, Lonnie Chisenhall at third baseman, and Drew Stubbs is at right field.
And it is A.J. Griffin on the mound for the Athletics. As we detailed in his last start, 6 walks. One was intentional, but he did not give up a home run. Previous 4 starts, he'd given up a lot of home runs. As a matter of fact, about 10. So that did not happen on his last start, but one start against the Tribe early in the season. And even though he had an early lead, and that was Masterson on the mound for the Tribe, Tribe came back and beat the Athletics. 1 of 4 games the Indians won against the A's.
Defense for the Athletics, and it looks like this. Smith, Cespedes, and Reddick in the outfield. Donaldson, Lowry, Sogard, Moss on the infield. And Stephen Vogt is the catcher.
Home whites, road grays, and that looks great. Cespedes in center field tonight, as you mentioned. And of course, Coco still bothered by the wrist, and Chris Young getting started. Ricky Henderson, maybe he's going to be in uniform tonight. He is, but Hall of Famer's not active. Thinks it could be, though.
Pinch hitting, maybe a little bit later. Need a big hit late.
Or let him walk and steal seconds.
That's right. First pitch of the game from Griffin to Michael Bourne is up and away.
First pitch.
So we're underway, the A's and the Indians. Bourne fouls it straight back. Bourne, Swisher, Kipnis, the first 3 for the Indians.
And the A's saw Bourne in Cleveland, but he wasn't active.
That's right.
And they still won 4 games against the Athletics.
I think he came off the disabled list right after the A's left. And that was in early May.
Well, the Indians were hot when the A's did see them on their only trip to Cleveland.
Yeah, they were hot, and the A's were not. And the result was a 4-game sweep. So, seemed like a long time ago, but maybe a payback this weekend for the A's, and the count now 3-2 to Bourne. Terry Francona, terrific job in his first year as the manager of the Cleveland Indians. Swing and a miss. A fastball. Bourne swings through it, and that's out number 1 here in the first inning.
That's a good comeback because the fastball kept tailing away from Bourne, the left-hander, getting to 3-1. He took 3-1 to 3-2, and then perfectly thrown fastball outside corner for a swing and a miss. Good guy to keep off the bases with his speed. Tommy Cam right over the top, and good location right on the corner. You know, that says a lot. And kind of people talk about AAA, AA, and the difference in big leagues. I think that 3-2 pitch says it all. Maybe in the minor leagues, you throw right down the middle, 3-2. Here, it's on the corner.
Yeah.
And it was a swing and miss, but it was a strike 3 anyway, but it wasn't down the middle.
Alfonso Marquez is the home plate umpire tonight. Calls a strike to Nick Swisher. Swisher hitting in the 2nd spot. Swisher hitting .237 with 12 home runs and just 37 runs batted in. So it has been a bit of an off year for Swisher, his first year in Cleveland. The Indians trying to maybe figure out where he fits best. They tried him in the cleanup spot. He did not do a whole lot there. Is he better off a little bit down in the order? Up in the order?
Well, in maybe one position, because he's able to play first, the outfield, DH.
Strike 3 call. Big overhand curve. Swisher spins around, heads back to the dugout, and that's out number 2.
Not a bad pitch, considering it was the first curveball thrown by A.J. Griffin tonight. Watch this thing just coming at about 69 miles per hour. That's a double jelly leg there. Nick Swisher put the foot down and then watched it all the way in, couldn't pull the trigger, and that's one I'm sure they would take note of, but very well thrown by Adre with a couple of strikes.
2 outs for Jason Kipnis, the young second baseman. First inning this year for Griffin, and he's been good. Just a couple of earned runs allowed. Swing and a miss. Kipnis, 293, 15 homers, 69 RBIs. And he was an all-star this year for the first time. Good young player.
You know, Cleveland, as we saw in the 4-game series, a lot of home runs hit by the Indians against the Athletics, and that was relatively early in the season. But the difference, the Coliseum, and you may see the difference this weekend. Some of the balls hit there may not travel out of the park here, home runs anyway. And Coliseum, of course, plays tough, as we know. Tough as far as hitting home runs, especially at nighttime. An hour earlier tomorrow night for the second game, but a true day game on Sunday.
3-1 pitch to Kipnis is high, and it's a 2-out walk. So that'll bring up Carlos Santana.
Designated hitter, number 41, Carlos Santana.
So Santana will be the designated hitter tonight. The Indians are 65-56. They are coming into today 6.5 back of the Tigers in the Central. They are 3.5 back of the A's in the wild card. So they're in it.
Very much so. And the tough stretch they had against the Tigers head-to-head in the game that we talked about when it happened, when Alex Avila hit a 3-run home run in the 9th inning. It's Chris Perez. That was devastating because they were 3 outs away from taking the first game, being 2 behind, and then end up being swept by Detroit. Everybody thinks Detroit's the favorite in the Central, and not only the Central, but maybe in the American League.
This one's hit high, foul territory. Plenty of room for Donaldson. Side retired. So 2-out walk, but no damage done. Bottom of the first coming up. No score from the Coliseum. And here's their lineup. It's going to start out with Alberto Callaspo. He's the designated hitter. Lowry at short, Reddick in right. Cespedes in center, Moss at first. Donaldson at third. Smith at left, he at seventh. Vogt will catch and hit eighth. And then Sogard in ninth spot playing second base.
And Justin Masterson, and you see him pitch, you wonder how anybody hits him. But as we had detailed, the A's have had success against him. But this year, 13-game winner for the right-hander, making his 26th start. He's essentially a 2-pitch pitcher. A couple of different fastballs, but sinker slider. And that's the reason he was in the bullpen of the Boston Red Sox before acquired by the Indians when they moved him in the rotation, and for good reason, because he is durable, good enough to get through lineups several times.
First pitch to Callaspo is low, so big Justin Masterson going after the Athletics tonight. Inside corner first strike. The A's are 68-52. Game and a half behind the Texas Rangers in the West. So this is game number 121 for the A's. So after tonight, they'll have 41 games left. 22 of those 41 at home. Quarter of the season left.
Seems like it just started yesterday, doesn't it?
Not close in the count, 2-2.
If you think about it, if the pitcher's a sinker ball, 2 and 4 seam fastball and slider. What's he going to throw to lefty? Pretty much what he's thrown. 4 pitches. They've all been of the sinking variety. But we'll see how many sliders he throws if really he's a 2-pitch pitcher. But he's good. But the pitches he already thrown to Callaspo, really good movement going down. Like that.
That's it right there. Good sinker. Callaspo grounds out to second. So here's the defense for the Indians. Michael Brantley in left, Michael Bourne in center, Drew Stubbs in right. So that's good outfield. Lots of speed. Chisenhall, Cabrera, Kipnis, and Swisher on the infield. Jan Gomes is the catcher. Now I would say, Ray, what we don't want to write down a lot on our scorecard is 4-3.
That's right. Our ground ball in general to anybody on the infield.
Because let's see, Callaspo, Lowry, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 7 left-handed hitters in the A's lineup.
And really, if his sinker is working well, it's hard to think about going opposite field. That pitch right there, first of all, it's a nice take because it's out of the strike zone, but
there's the ground ball to fly ball ratio, which is very good.
See if he gets the ball up, that's what can happen. Fortunately for the A's, it went foul.
So 1-2 to Lowry. We're keeping an eye on the Rangers. They are leading the Seattle Mariners 1-0 in the top of the 8th inning in Arlington. So Iwakuma and Holland in a pitcher's duel. Keep an eye on that one. There's your West and the wild card. You see the teams that the A's are fighting with. We know who it is in the West, but we said before, now we got to keep an eye on the Orioles, the Indians, the Royals, and the Yankees. One-two pitch, and that's the slider, and that was a good one.
They have all the percentages of how many times he will throw the slider, but if he could throw it that well, that's a very good pitch, because essentially the ball is coming into the left-handed hitter. Of course, it's going to be very, very good against righties going sharply away from them, but what he has with a 2-seam fastball, one that starts in and moves away, and then the slider that comes inside. There it is. Sinker slider. Change up, throw 1 out of 100.
Excellent, brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. That makes you wonder, at some point the catcher goes, I'm going to try that changeup.
And if you're a hitter, you're thinking, why me? You've got, I'm looking sinker slider, and you're going to throw a changeup.
Reddick does go the other way. He shoots one into left field for a 2-out single.
That's just simply dragging the bat through the hitting zone, taking a good sinker down and away. Thinking if I even thought about pulling the ball, it is a 4-3. But he just dropped the head of the bat and really let Masterson master the sinker down and away. Gomes set up outside and perfectly thrown, but excellent job of hitting.
There's the directional hits for Reddick. So here's Cespedes with Reddick aboard, 2 outs. Fastball in for a strike, 94 miles an hour from Justin Masterson. 19 home runs for Cespedes, and he may have 20. Wow. He does. A line shot into the seats in left, and the A's lead 2-0.
How do you hit a slider? Watch, and the Yoenis Cespedes will show you. Talk about how tough the slider can be on right-handers, but not when he hangs it in the inside part of the plate. And that is a tremendous swing by Yoenis Cespedes. That's all upper body. That's a hanging slider that did not break away where Masterson wanted it. Stayed in the inner half of the plate, and a mistake was thrown, and a mistake was crushed. Unbelievable.
So home run number 20 for Cespedes. He's now got 58 RBIs, and here's Moss. Moss had a good rip, fouls it straight back.
Oh, what a great swing by Cespedes. And, you know, that's just, he's so strong. And whenever this happens, again, great hitters, home run hitters hit mistakes. They do a lot of great things, but they can hit mistakes. And that was just proof of how you do it.
That one is fair. Nice play by Swisher. He throws to Masterson, who steps on the bag, side retired. Nice play by Swisher. But Cespedes with a 2-run homer here in the bottom of the first. So after one, it's the A's 2 and the Indians nothing.
Get 2013 postseason rights. Just place a deposit on a 2014 A's ticket plan and secure your place in line for 2013 playoff tickets. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or go to oaklandathletics.com/deposit. That's fun that you can even think about printing postseason, talking postseason, and that's what the A's are doing. That's right. Need to add American League West, American League champion, world champion. Put 3 of them up there.
Michael Brantley to lead it off. He'll be followed by Cabrera and then Gomes here in the second inning.
Now maybe AJ can remember what happened back in Cleveland. He had an early 3-0 lead, and then Tribe did come back, eventually won the game. But that was there, and this is here in a different place, and AJ a different pitcher.
Slapped foul. Well, right about the same time that Yoenis Cespedes hit his home run, Kyle Seager hit a 2-run homer for the Seattle Mariners in the top of the 8th inning. So the Mariners now lead the Rangers 2-1 in the 8th inning. foul back again, and the count stays 1-2 to Brantley.
So did Holland go 7? That
yeah, it was not off Holland.
yeah.
Neil Kotz, a good left-handed reliever, but Seager got it.
It's the old situational pitching.
Curve stays a bit high to even the count at 2-2. A couple of strikeouts and a walk for Griffin in the first inning. That one's grounded, and it's headed into right field for a base hit. A changeup. Remember earlier in the at-bat, Brantley swung and missed at a changeup. That time, he rolls it through the right side for a leadoff single.
And that's the difference of it being 2 strikes versus earlier in the count. And plus the pitch was left up about thigh high and at 83 miles per hour. Some hitters have a long and aggressive swing with a couple of strikes. Other hitters try to shorten the swing, so anything off speed makes it a little bit easier for them to hit.
So here's the switch hitting shortstop as Drupal Cabrera. Cabrera, like Swisher, having an off year. Look at the average, just 234. And I don't think there's any question, right? You think about Asdrubal Cabrera, and he's one of the better all-around players in the American League. I mean, he's a good shortstop and switch hitter. But boy, those numbers are way down.
Well, at one time you'd take his defense and forget about his offense, but he's been such a good offensive player. You want the complete package. And there may be an example. Swung at ball 3, pitch was up, a little bit aggressive, and maybe if you don't have the numbers that you expect to do things that you normally would not, if you have a good average and things are going well, you're a little bit more patient. But that pitch up a little bit too much, and it was fouled back. You know, one thing we have tonight, Cat, but I think it's always interesting. We have a talkative first baseman on both teams.
Yeah, that's true.
Brandon Moss and Nick Swisher. You just like to put a microphone in the first base bag just to listen to the conversations that would go on for 9 innings. You know, you won't keep Swisher quiet.
So 3-1 the count, and the pitch is high, and it's a walk. So action for the Indians here in the second inning.
And some would say with A.J. Griffin, it happened in his last start against Blue Jays when he walked 6. And a lot of times he works very quickly, he pitches quickly, and when he leaves the ball up and out of the strike zone, he's not following through and getting the ball down. He has the curve that he tries to throw to be able to complete his delivery. Two-seamer, the cutter, slider.
So we've talked about A.J. Griffin with the home runs. Are we making too much of it? Is he thinking about it?
Batting in the 7th position.
Could he now be thinking about,
number 10, Yan Gomes.
I got to keep the ball out of the middle of the plate a little bit?
Well,
you start thinking maybe too much.
Well, he's been upset because he has been giving up home runs.
And he's not a guy who walks a lot of people. He's got pretty good control.
But this is what we talked about earlier. This is what he doesn't need or doesn't want, is to start getting. Yan Gomes has hit some big home runs for the Indians, and he's doing a lot of the catching. But you get in a situation now where you start putting runners on with a 2-strike base hit and a 3-1 pitch that walks a batter.
I mean, in the long run, walks may do more damage than a solo home run.
Absolutely.
So Gomes, pretty good hitter. Backup catcher. And I know when we were in Cleveland, Indians people were saying Gomes can hit.
He can definitely throw too.
Yeah,
I saw that.
We were impressed with him.
Yeah.
He's not getting a huge amount of playing time.
I think Terry Francona knows that Yan Gomes is a good catcher.
Donaldson has it. Could be 2 out at second, and that's a big double play. He hit it just hard enough right at Donaldson, and Taylor made double play.
Well, when you're a ground ball pitcher, you're hoping this what happens, that You have your defense set up perfectly with a ground ball right to the third baseman. That was a 2-0 count. And Gomes just opened up with a sinker and right to Josh Donaldson, who played it perfectly with a nice easy throw to second. Sogard with a return throw to first base, and that quickly 2 outs.
So here's Lonnie Chisenhall, young third baseman. Chisenhall hitting .223 with 6 home runs, 26 runs batted in. High hopes for this young man for the Indians. He was their #1 draft pick in 2008. Last year, 142 at-bats in the big leagues. Just inside, 3-1. Drew Stubbs, a right-handed hitter, is the on-deck hitter. And that one is a fastball outside, and that's walk number 3 in the game for Griffin. The runners at the corners for Stubbs. That's not a good ratio for him.
Number 11, Drew Stubbs.
As long as he can make the pitches to get out of jams, it's okay. But there's always that fear of something drastic happening. Again, putting a couple on and 2 with the bases on balls in the center.
First pitch to Stubbs is a strike. Stubbs hitting .240 with 7 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Coming over from the Reds, an off-season trade. Stubbs very fast. He's got a little bit of power. He strikes out a lot.
But he chased a pitch out of the strike zone. This is a great chase pitch, and one that A.J. Griffin would like to duplicate at 0-2 in the same location, maybe a little bit farther outside.
That one's a good 0-2 curve. Stubbs lays off. Stubbs has 111 strikeouts and 342 at-bats. Check swing, shoots it foul. Pitch number 44 for Griffin. Yeah, that one bends in there. Strike 3 called. And the Indians strand a pair in the top of the second, bottom of the second. Coming up, 2-0 A's. Sonny Gray his first major league win, and he did it in style. 8 innings of shutout baseball. He had 9 strikeouts through 118 pitches, and just the talk of the town was his curveball. It was nasty.
Yeah, it was a great 12-to-6 curveball and 118 pitches. He was not bothered by it, and I think a lot of times, and we've talked about it, when a pitcher throws 94 miles per hour at about 111 pitch, there's nothing wrong with it. And he probably, well, he's not going to go out with 118 try to get a shutout, but he pitched that well. I mean, and I don't care if it's the Houston Astros, New York Yankees, it's a major league team, and he did a great job. And never thought you'd be asking a rookie second major league start to be a stopper. And that's what he was, and pitched very well. Nate Fryman did his job offensively.
Quick 0-2 to Donaldson, who will be followed by Smith and Vogt. In the bottom of the second, Cespedes with a 2-run homer in the first inning. That hard sinker, and Donaldson did a nice job to lay off.
You know, that's equivalent to a curveball, because it goes down, straight down, to the point that you think it is something more than the sinker, but that's really what he throws. Yeah, might have been a slider, but
his sinker probably moves as much as any sinker we've seen from a guy, at least in the American League.
Absolutely. And he slings the ball, and you know, it's kind of a long, wide span. Brad Mills with Terry Francona.
Shallow right. And it's going to be Stubbs who takes care of it.
The A's Oktoberfest is on Saturday, September the 21st. Specialty beers will be available to fans 21 or over throughout the Coliseum. 10,000 fans will receive an Oktoberfest stein courtesy of Size. German-themed entertainment will take place throughout the game. Purchase a special field-level ticket package that includes a brewmaster meet and greet in ceramic style. Visit OaklandAthletics.com/Oktoberfest. Music alone is worth it. Just listen.
That's right. Here's Seth Smith, and fastball in for a strike. So, Ray, you use the term slinger. And Masterson certainly fits that definition, but maybe our viewers at home want to know what a slinger is.
Just watch him. Most pitchers, you can watch A.J. Griffin right over the top. But watch the arm as it comes out, brings the ball out of the glove, and watch what he does with his arm. Brings it straight out, and then just completely all the way back. And then, I mean, that's a very difficult pitch to pick up as a hitter, and especially if he has the movement, which he normally does with the sinker.
And I would think us being a slinger, as we're calling it, it gives him more movement, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the arm angle.
That's a nasty pitch there running in on Seth Smith. So if you're a left-handed hitter, you may be looking out a little bit because you see that ball moving away, and then he throws this pitch.
Well, that's what he did earlier.
Batting in the 8th position.
Did it to Lowry with a slider, and the same thing to Seth Smith. And, you know, a lot of times he wants the slider to be effective against right-handers, which Cespedes hung a slider to him, but he might throw it more to lefties to force him to follow through, similar to what he do with righties. But it's a tough pitch for both hitters, and at this point the A's, fortunately, he hung one to Cespedes.
2 outs for Vogt. Vogt shoots one foul, so the count 1-1.
You know, every catcher wants to hit, but right now for Stephen Vogt, his objective is to catch a shutout. Try to keep the Indians from scoring, tough as it is, but that's the main objective for a catcher, and of course he wants to provide offense. And he, like Derek Norris, like John Jaso, any catcher knows that what they do at the plate, when they go in the dugout to put on the catching gear, they start thinking about catching and handling the pitcher and trying to get A.J. Griffin where he's in the strike zone a little bit more consistent.
So 1-2 to Vogt. Fastball runs up and away.
Norris yesterday caught until late when he took a big swing that, as he said, in normal cases would have been a home run, but was caught in left field and resulted in the back spasms that occurred last Saturday. He looks like he feels okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's not the face we saw in Toronto.
Or yesterday after he had been in the game for a while.
And Vogt works a 2-out walk. So that's the first walk issued by Masterson. He will walk a fair amount of guys. Also strike out a lot of guys.
Number 28,
Sogard.
Eric Sogard.
270 with a couple of home runs, 24 RBIs for Sogard. Outfield playing pretty shallow for Sogard. Masterson is second in the league in innings pitched and fourth in the league in strikeouts. So a workhorse indeed. He should be. He's 6'6", 255 pounds. Woo!
It's not easy to be a quality relief pitcher, especially you can imagine a 2-pitch pitcher, sinker, slider, but then you picked up by a club and they put you in a rotation. Really this year, first year in which he's really had a great season.
Yep.
Maybe just take a little while to get adapted to the starting rotation in a row.
Behind Darvish, Scherzer, and Felix Hernandez. It's a nice list to be on.
But unlike Darvish, Scherzer has an outstanding slider, but Darvish tries to get strikeouts. I think Masterson, they just haven't.
So his flip to first a little low, but dug out by Swisher. Side retired. We're on to the third. 2-0 Athletics. The last 2 seasons, Gray, Malone, Parker, and Griffin. Over those 2 seasons, the A's have had 4 rookie starting pitchers pitch at least 8 scoreless innings in a game. No other major league team has had more than 2. Sonny Gray did it yesterday. There's Brett Anderson. He's getting close.
Supposed to pitch tomorrow in Sacramento. Is that what we heard as far as in the bullpen? Thinking more of a reliever for Brett Anderson because of time of the season. And get back quicker by going to the bullpen.
Michael Bourne hits one high to left. Smith is under it. He's got it. Michael Bourne is 0 for 2. So 1 out here in the third, and that'll bring up Nick Swisher. The Rangers have the bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Number 33.
The Mariners holding on to a 2-1 lead. Rangers, a lot like the Athletics in that they will always make it interesting at the end.
Especially in their home park.
Yeah. Swisher swings at a first pitch changeup and rolls it foul. There's a line drive, and it's going to fall in front of Reddick for a 1-out hit. So that is the second hit for the Indians off Griffin. He's walked 3.
Trying to go fastball inside, and Nick, who with the A's in 2006, hit a whole bunch of home runs. He and Frank Thomas and Milton Bradley, but fastball inside, a little bit up, and so now you have both first basemen at first, and this conversation will never end. I mean, that's just nonstop. So look at that. He could barely get off the bag because Mossy was talking to him.
So they will be talking at the same time.
Yes.
Interrupting each other.
Of course, yeah.
Finishing each other's sentences. You're so funny. Mossy, you're so funny. Line drive. Reddick coming in, and Reddick goes into a dive, and he caught it. Terrific play by Reddick, taking a hit away from Kipnis.
Well, that was an outstanding play because it was sinking quickly, and Josh Reddick just charged in, took a chance. This is why you get a Gold Glove, because he got it right at the ground, spun over and popped up, kept the ball in his glove, and looking to see where Swisher was, and he's still talking to Moss. So no chance he was going to be picked off. He didn't get a big enough lead, but tremendous play by Josh Reddick. That's Gold Glove there.
Here's the cleanup hitter, Santana. Curveball a bit high.
Now look where he catches the ball. This is right on the ground, and then his momentum takes him and amazingly keeps the ball in his glove, able to spin, pop up, and immediately look at first base. Thinking where the A's were over the weekend, that artificial surface in Toronto. So much different. Oh, grass is so much better, so much softer, and you can make plays like that and not worry about what Coco Chris really is dealing with right now. Diving for a ball in left center and jamming his wrist in the hard concrete underneath the turf or asphalt, hard anyway, whatever it's under.
So 2-1 to Santana. 3-1 to Santana, who fouled out to Donaldson to end the first inning. Fastball fouled straight back. So full count. Swisher goes, a line drive, base hit right field. And going to try for third. Reddick's throw is way high, and it goes over everybody, and the Indians are going to get a run. The ball bounced off a back wall somewhere, and the umpires immediately put their hands up. So Reddick just let that one sail a little bit, and the Indians are on the board.
You know, it's similar to what Jose Bautista did when the Blue Jays were in town. Really an ill-advised throw because the runner's running on 3-2 anyway. And not being held, he's at second base before Reddick, and actually rounded second. And A.J. Griffin just really could not back up enough. And you're right, it hit the wall, but it carried him back to Josh Donaldson. And unfortunately, where the ball hit, it's a dead ball. You get the extra base, and actually hit the top of the dugout. That's too bad, because at least A.J. had a chance to get out of it, but you got to hurry to get over, and he was hurrying, and I don't know that he'd gotten there anyway. It just was too hard. The ball that was thrown.
So a run for the Indians, and Santana now at second base with Brantley stepping in. So the 75th error of the year for the Athletics. They're 10th in the league in team fielding percentage. Curve drops in for a strike to Brantley, who had a base hit in the second inning. Outfield straightaway for Brantley. Saw that number with runners in scoring position. Brantley 371. So maybe that's why he's hitting in the 5th spot. Does not have a lot of home runs. 8. Numbers tell you he gives you a good at bat in these spots.
He did it in his first at bat with nobody on. Hitting the changeup.
Don't see that very often. A pitcher with a very dirty uniform. You saw Griffin go sliding over far into the dugout.
Especially a pitcher in the American League who doesn't hit, doesn't run the bases.
Indians fans down the right field line. So 1-2, pitch number 64 for Griffin. It's way high.
See A.J. breathing a little bit heavily, but you think about the sprint that he had to cover a lot of ground to get over to third base. He wanted the hard slide and then get back up on the mound and try to regroup and get the third out of the inning. The tying run at second.
Pop-up foul. Rangers did not score. They left the bases loaded in the bottom of that 8th inning. So Seattle leading 2-1 over Texas, top of the 9th.
Well, the A's see that and hope for the good results there, while the Indians are seeing the Tigers lost.
Tigers lost twice.
That
was a doubleheader today. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Brantley gets jammed, then he pops it up. Side retired. A run for the Indians, crossed the air by the A's, and it's 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Yes, Sportsnet California is brought to you by Sonoma Raceway. Catch the IndyCar GoPro Grand Prix of Sonoma August 23 through 25. For tickets, go to racesonoma.com. Last night at the Coliseum, it's a 2-1 A's lead over the Indians, bottom of the third. Unearned run for the Indians at the top of this inning. Caspo, Lowry, and Reddick. Now 2-0. Caspo bounced out to second in the first inning. He's the DH tonight, and he's in the leadoff spot. That one not close. 3-0.
Look at Caspo in the leadoff spot. That is usually for Chris Young. We're Coco Chris, but I'm not into managing and how you position players, and put Caspo in the leadoff position where everybody else can kind of say the same where they normally hit. Caspo is good enough to get on base whatever way. He's got some big hits for the Athletics. Right now, just trying to do what that man did so often, Ricky Henderson. Get on base and steal bases. I don't know if Caspo would ever steal as many as he did.
Swisher has it, stays down on it, and he steps on the bag for out number 1.
Ricky works a lot with the minor leaguers, and of course, all-time leader of runs, steals, Hall of Famer, number 24, retired here at the Coliseum for the Athletics. You can imagine if you're a young player in an organization and Ricky Henderson shows up and he's going to start talking hitting or fielding or base stealing like a sponge. Take in everything. Keith Lippman talked about how all the players in the minor league system are very receptive to Ricky whenever he shows up and starts talking baseball.
One bounced up the middle, under the glove of Cabrera, and Lowry has a base hit.
Cabrera is so good up the middle. He was trying to go into the slide, pop up, and throw out Lowry, but fortunately, Jed had a top hand, hard up the middle, and Cabrera could not get to it. He has made some magical plays at shortstop for the Indians, but Jed Lowry, great job taking the outside fastball, and because it was up and did not have the sinking action, still hit it on the ground, but was able to drive the ball through the infield.
So hit number 3 for the A's. Here's Reddick. Outside corner strike. Justin Smoke hit a solo home run for the Seattle Mariners in the top of the 9th inning. So it's 3-1 Seattle going to the bottom of the 9th in Arlington. Boy, they can wash those pants quick, can't they? I mean, you always talk about how good Cliffy is. That's an example of just how good Cliff Clavin is. I mean, look how quickly he washed those pants. That's amazing. Man.
You think about Cliff Clavin and Matt Weiss, really probably the two of the best bat boys the A's had. Now Matt takes care of the umpires and Cliffy cleans the uniforms. Man, he does. I mean, that's Spotty Weiss. Or Steve Vucinich got him a new pair. Probably they'll be clean tomorrow, one way or the other.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Cliffy's good.
0-2 fastball, and it's 95 miles an hour, and Reddick swings and misses.
And that was the 4-seam fastball. We talk about the 2-seam that sinks. This is a slider that did nothing except hang right in the wheelhouse of Yoenis Cespedes. And because of his success winning the home run derby at the All-Star game, this is a Friday, so the gates opened earlier. So the fans could come out and watch Cespedes take batting practice, as well as the rest of the A's team.
Kind of a treat for the fans on Fridays. Chisenhall scoops it up, flips to second. Side retired hit and a runner left, and we're through 3 from the Coliseum. It's the A's 2 and the Indians 1.
As your #1 mobile app for live baseball, available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At-Bat delivers A's baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, highlights, and more. Text at-Bat to 31826 or visit OaklandAthletics.com for details.
Fourth inning. Cabrera, Gomes, Chisenhall here. Indians, and first pitch is just a bit high. Cabrera walked in the second inning. Three walks, 3 strikeouts for Griffin so far. He's thrown a lot of pitches. One roll foul. This will be pitch number 70 coming up. And it's a changeup and a good one. Lowry, the shortstop, is under it, and that's out #1. Big news coming out of Major League Baseball. Possible change is in the air. Instant replay. As long as the players okay it and the umpires okay it.
Now batting,
Expanded instant replay coming next year. Managers allowed 1 challenge over the first 6 innings of a game, 2 from the 7th inning until the end of the game. Only reviewable plays can be challenged. Challenge not used in the first 6 innings will not carry over. The manager who wins a challenge will retain it. So it has a little bit of an NFL feel to it.
How about this last line?
Current home run replay rules will stay as is for next season.
And that's important because what happened a couple of nights ago. Really, it's the discretion of the umpire, because it sounds like that if the umpires believe that it's a home run or not a home run, it stands that way. And that's why Doug Eddings the other night was adamant saying, no, I got the call right, I'm not going to review it. And it was my understanding that was a rule that if a manager requested it and anything that close, he kind of went in and had all the replays and reviewed it. And I know Ron Gardenhire, his game here against the Twins a few years ago, he wanted to throw the red flag out a whole bunch of them to play at the end of the game.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not that crazy about the whole challenge thing.
Well, I agree. I agree. I think
I got to believe there's a better way to do it. You know, that wouldn't hit to left field. Smith over on this guy. I mean,
you know what?
So you get 1 in the first 6 innings. So now you're thinking, well, I don't know. I'm not crazy about it.
But you know, you're a big football guy. Okay, in the NFL, they have everybody up in the press box, right?
Yeah.
Now, does a head coach challenge before his ear? Somebody in his ear says, "A or nay," because
somebody in his ear has to say, has to see a replay somewhere.
That's right, and they're going to see the replays. Now, how about a 5th umpire in the booth?
That's it. That's mine.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you just wouldn't make every umpiring crew 5 guys.
Yeah.
And the 5th guy up in the booth, in the ballpark, watching the game just like you and I are sitting here. He sees it. He's going to see the replays. He's going to have a nice HD monitor.
Exactly. And just like
he's going to beat down and say,
that's it.
You made the wrong call. You got to change it.
That's it.
That's it. There's no challenging. There's no.
And it's happened so quickly. You get it done quickly.
That. I don't know why that. If it is simply, well, you add a 5th umpire to every crew, now you're talking a lot of money. You know what? That's not going to fly.
Well, the technology alone for doing it the other way.
I mean, baseball's got enough money.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know that. What if there's 2 bad calls in the first 6 innings? So you only challenge the first one. I can't challenge this. So you should be able to get every call right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, just like the other night, and when you can, and the umpire or somebody would be able to see frame by frame on a ball, and you know when you're 200 feet away from a foul post, standing at third or first base, and you turn around and you think you see it, I'm sorry, you know that when it happens so quickly, as opposed to in HD frame by frame to be able to see it correctly and get the call right.
I just don't know why you just wouldn't have An umpire in the booth, make them 5-man crews. I don't get why that's such a bad idea. Bottom of the fourth coming up, 2-1 Athletics. Time now for a trivia question brought to you by AT&T. Prior to Nate Fryman yesterday, who was the last A's rookie with 4 hits and 4 RBIs in a game? If you think you know the answer, tweet us at @CSN.
Leading off the bottom of the fourth inning for the Athletics, first baseman, number 37.
Moss to lead it off, 2-1. The A's lead the Indians. Moss, Donaldson, and Smith. Moss bounced out to first to end the first.
Here's walk-up music. Talk about trucks. Yeah. That's Brandon Moss. I thought maybe today somebody would have Elvis Presley walk up because 36 years ago today he passed away. And
it's kind of a bummer.
As it turned out, he was playing for Cleveland, walked in the clubhouse. Brother was there, and, Archie next door. And all of a sudden, here was Elvis music playing. I said, what happened? And he passed away. 36 years ago today.
Brantley hustling back, and that's over his head, and it's off the base of the wall. And Moss has a leadoff double.
Man is strong, just like Cespedes, and he went the opposite field. Said hello to Nick Swisher as he rounded first base on his way to second. Got a hanging slider. That one not down and in from Masterson, as we've seen. To Smith and Lowry. This one stayed up, and Brandon Moss just so strong going opposite field between left field, center field. He does not have to pull the ball. Sure, he will pull 44, but he's got 36 of them to center field and left field. So great approach by the A's first baseman, playing mostly against right-handed pitchers.
Donaldson tries to bunt, he missed it. Donaldson hit a fly ball to right field. He's trying to get the runner over and knock him in. And he bunts nicely up the first base line. Masterson throws, and they just get Donaldson. So that is out number 1. So it's a final. The Mariners beat the Rangers 3-1. A couple of late home runs by Seattle. He's had a 1-0 lead in that game through 7 innings. Derek Holland was terrific, but the bullpen gave it up a little bit. So Iwakuma pitched great. He got the win. Kotz ended up taking the loss. And Seager with the big 2-run home run, and then Smoke added one. So the Mariners beat the Rangers 3-1.
And the Mariners are also going to throw Felix Hernandez in the series, so the A's will miss Felix next week. They will see Iwakuma in the final game of the series. Right now the A's, after getting a runner to third base, and Josh Donaldson might have bunted on his own. Let's take a look at the Western Division right now with the half game up-to-date standings. The A's, of course, can pick up another half if they win this game. But Donaldson, you know, sometimes the sign's given by the third base coach, Mike Gallego, and the sign is get him over. And there are times that a hitter will think that it's easier to bunt, sacrifice to get him over. Granted, he's given himself up as an out. Maybe Donaldson just did not feel he could hit the ball to the right side to make a productive out, so laid down a bunt. It was perfect.
Roll foul, 1-2. Smith struck out swinging in the second inning. Grounded toward Cabrera. Nice backhanded play. Gets up and throws to Swisher. That's a nice play by Cabrera. He was actually shaded towards second base a little bit.
And again, Moss not going on contact. The ball on the ground. He stayed, and Cabrera going into the slide down to his right. Of course, as he was catching the ball, he was looking to see what Moss was going to do. Once he saw Brandon stayed at third, got up and made the throw to first. So now the infield will go back normal position.
And it's Vogt who will try to get Moss home. First pitch is popped up foul territory. Chisenhall is under it and makes the catch. Side retired. So the A's had a runner at third with one out. Could not get him home. Fifth inning coming up. A's 2, Indians 1. Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by GoPro, the world's most versatile camera. GoPro, be a hero. It's the Athletics 2, and it's the Indians 1. Top of the fifth inning from the Coliseum. Weekend series against two teams having good seasons.
Number 11, Drew Stubbs.
The Indians have not been to the postseason since 2007. Remember that?
Oh, they remember. They remember.
They were
one
game away.
Yep, 3 games to 1.
One game away from going to the World Series. The Red Sox came storming back, and They won it in 7 games. The Red Sox did the ALCS, and that's the last time the Indians have been there. Lowry charges, throws quickly, and it just gets studs for out number 1.
And I still think about that series because it's been since 1948 that the Indians won the World Series. Of course, in 1997, a strike away. Jose Mesa gave it up. They lost to the Marlins, but in 07, they played games 1 and 2,
number 24,
3 and 4, with an off day in
Michael
between.
Boyd.
And for the first time, they had an off day after game 4. And kind of rejuvenated the Red Sox, came back, and as they did in 2004 under Terry Francona, didn't lose.
Top of the order, Michael Bourne, who has struck out and hit a fly ball to left field. Swing and miss, chases a pitch up and away.
Hey, Seth Smith played on the Rockies that 2007 season. Great rookie season for him, especially in the pinch hitting role. They swept so many games. They had so many off days. They didn't know how to play in the World Series. So what I'm saying is, if the Tribe would have they had beaten the Red Sox, they probably would have beaten the Rockies because the Rockies just had too much time off and it didn't work out.
That one's hit well to right. Reddick on the move, still on the move, and he makes a nice running catch right in front of the wall. So Reddick doing his thing in right field tonight.
Well, Bourne hit it well. Fastball inside, turned on it, and Josh Reddick gets great jumps when it's coming in or going back, and this was a good one because if that is not caught, that's probably 3 for the speedy Bourne. And it might have been a 3 with 1 out, but instead it's 2 outs because of a very nice play by Josh Reddick. He's still thinking about the error he made, though.
Yep.
All right, gets a big hit. Actually got a hit in front of Cespedes' home run. It's all about getting jumps, and that, of course, determines where you're going to play in a hitter, whether you have the ability to go back on a ball or not. Reddick has proven he can do both.
1-1 to Swisher, who has struck out and singled and scored. He gets jammed, pops it up, and it'll reach the seats. Swisher with a 4-year, $56 million free agent contract to join the Indians this offseason. After good seasons with the Yankees.
Well, the Indians courted him.
Yep.
They went over the top to try to get him to sign, and he did. Of course, went to Ohio State University, which in the great state of Ohio.
Curve roll foul.
Nick Swisher's a daddy for the first time.
Yes, he is recently.
It's summer. Wife Joanne and little baby girl.
So the A's, 1 year with the White Sox and then good seasons in New York, and now with the Indians. 2-2 pitch is outside.
The thing about Switch, he's always had a good eye. You know, take his walks, and you make a mistake, he can do some damage with a home run. Jay Griffin would love to have a 1-2-3 inning. Had it last inning. In fact, it's not.
3-2 changeup, and it's a walk. So a 2-out base runner is Nick Swisher with the Athletics. See, got to the A's in 2004.
Number 22.
And then for good in 2005. And had a big season in 06 when the A's won the division at 35 home runs that year.
What a season in which Frank Thomas, who eligible for the Hall of Fame coming up, seemed like every time Big Hurt hit one, Nick would hit one.
So there are the numbers. 4 seasons with the Athletics. Good seasons in New York. Really, the one bad year he had was with the White Sox.
Yeah.
He just never got comfortable in Chicago. That was 2008.
That's the reason they traded him to New York.
No question. He hit just 219. look at his career numbers, Ray, but very consistent. His home run totals 35, 22, 24, 29, 29, 23, 24.
Yep.
Always knocking in 85, 90 runs. Lots of walks. He'll strike out some. Line drive, left field, and that's fair. Swisher around second. He's headed for third, and they're going to hold him there. So Kipnis lines one down the left field line for a double.
Got ahead with 2 strikes, and you watch Stephen Vogt. He wanted a high fastball, but you go back to the Cleveland series. He hit some high fastballs for home runs to left field. He had a good series against the Athletics when they tried to go up in the strike zone, and that's where Vogt wanted it. That's where he got it. That's where he hit it. Fortunately, down in the corner, Swisher could not score from first on 2 outs.
Kipnis gets his 29th double. Second and third, 2 outs for Carlos Santana. Fastball is high. So 4 hits allowed and 4 walks allowed by Griffin. And the curve drops in for a strike. 68 miles an hour.
Yeah, the amazing thing, so far, the Indians hitters have not swung at this very slow curveball. They've been fooled by it. They know he throws it, but they've not been able to pull the trigger.
And if you were a hitter, probably don't want to swing at it.
I mean, until you get 2 strikes.
Exactly. It's a tough pitch to hit. Right at 100 pitches with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. So it'll be heavy action from the A's bullpen tonight. Just missed inside. 90 miles an hour, and it's 3-1. Michael Brantley in the on-deck circle.
Well, it couldn't miss by much. If it did.
And a 3-1 changeup, and that one's high, and that's walk number 5. So Otero quickly starts to loosen up. Kurt Young will give him a little time by visiting Griffin. AJ with 1 3-up 3-down inning. That was in the 4th inning, and you immediately start thinking, well, he's going to settle in the middle innings a little bit, but the bases are loaded here in the 5th.
Well, regardless, he hopes to get through this inning. But he's not out there for that much longer. And yesterday, fortunately,
Now batting,
it's not a great one. 8 innings. Dan Otero is warming up now. Pitched the 9th inning.
So a key at bat in this game here in the 5th inning is a very good hitter with runners in scoring position. Michael Brantley steps in. Swisher at third, Kipnis at second, Santana at first, and the first pitch to Brantley is a bit high with a fastball. There's a shot towards center. Cespedes on the move, and he's going to get there. Side retired. Take a deep breath as Brantley hits a shot right at Cespedes, and the Indians leave him loaded. who was the last A's rookie with 4 hits and 4 RBIs in a game. It was Ben Green, 1998 at Colorado. 4 for 4, 4 RBIs. Ben Green. So it's a 2-1 A's lead. And it's the bottom of the 5th inning.
Second baseman, number 28.
So they are continuing to warm up in the A's bullpen. So you wonder if Kenny J. Griffin may be done after 5 innings and a whole bunch of pitches.
Would not be surprised. And again, with Sonny Gray pitching yesterday, the A's have a well-rested bullpen.
Sogard grounded back to the pitcher in the 2nd inning, so it's his 2nd at bat. He'll be followed by Carrasco and Howard. Good sinker there. Masterson has allowed 4 hits. He's walked 1. He has struck out 3. His pitch count, not too bad. He's right at 60. Grounded hard, but Swisher has it. Flips to first, and that's out below.
Well, Nate Froman yesterday afternoon, of course, the 1st inning, Eric Bedard has had some problems, and that's what the big guy did yesterday. Doubled down the right field line and score a couple of runs, giving the A's an early 3-0 lead, and then in a 3-run home run off Bedard back in April. This time, Grossman could not catch the ball, and then he just continued and did a triple for the cycle. I don't know if the big guy, although he's had a few triples, but he just took another single, giving him 4 for the day. Played very well at first base. And what's really nice is wife Amanda, the PGA, Ladies PGA Tour, in the stands watching. She's, you consider, on the way to some tournament next week, but here to be able to watch her husband play baseball.
What we're cheering for.
Nate said he's never broken 100. I said, come on, you got, your wife is a professional golfer, and you can't break 100? So he says, I just keep carrying her bag. That's good. Can you imagine 6, 8, and 8 carrying the bag for his wife playing on the LPGA Tour? He will likely be in the lineup Sunday. Be a lefty on the mound for the Tribe.
He is one of the nicest and gentlest people that I've ever met.
Absolutely.
I can see him on the tee box and just ripping one into the trees and going, boy, oh boy.
Remember the interview we did with him in Houston where he was talking about how the team, the Astros, well, I did a pregame show on the radio side today and saying, what a great day, 4 hits. What was it like to have a 4-hit game? And he says, well, we needed the win to avoid a sweep by the Astros. I said, no, Nate, how about you?
Can't argue with that.
No, he's right. But think of back Mark McGuire. Matt never liked to talk about himself. Not like Nate Fryman. His 4 hits, drives in 4 runs. The A's went 5-0, but he wants to talk about the team. Important for the team win, which you're right. That's the best attitude to have. A very nice gentleman.
Yes, he is.
And he's such as a rookie trying to learn everything that's going on. You watch him in the dugout and somebody wants to get a silence frame and he's looking around and says, do we have to do this? Well, okay, I'll do it. Nice young man. So the A's are fortunate to get him.
Kipnis scoops it up. That's out number 2. Some news coming out of Major League Baseball today. I don't know, was it a surprise? Maybe a little bit. The Philadelphia Phillies fired longtime manager Charlie Mueller, winningest manager in franchise history. And Ryan Sandberg takes over. Sandberg was on their coaching staff. Charlie Manu had a lot of success, but he had some really good Phillies teams.
Yeah,
it's struggling this year some.
Yeah, it's too bad. And Ruben Amaro Jr., I heard the press conference today, and they were talking about he's not going to be brought back for 2014. And Charlie pretty much said, well, you might as well start the transition now. And someone said, you know, did you quit? He said, I never quit at anything. And he said the decision was made, and I didn't like it. Sure, I'm mad. And as a manager would say, I had the best seat in the house. He said, I got a chance to watch the Phillies games and the Phillies teams, and it sounded like it was a very hard decision to be made by the Phillies management, especially Ruben Amaro Jr., who evidently had a very close relationship with Charlie Manuel.
Charlie was the Phillies manager starting in 2005, and they won it all, of course, in 2008, and then went back to the World Series in 2009, but lost to the Yankees. So he's got a World Championship ring. Charlie Manuel was the manager of the Indians as well for 3 years. 3 up, 3 down innings, so Masterson has retired 6 in a row. And we're on to the 6th. Ace 2, Indians 1.
Yoenis Cespedes bobblehead. It's tomorrow. 15,000 fans will get a Yoenis Cespedes bobblehead presented by State Farm. And the A's host these Cleveland Indians. For more information and tickets, call 877-493-BALL, or you can visit oaklandathletics.com/tickets. That's a good one. And we expect the lines to be long. Get there early to get in line to get your Yoenis Cespedes bobblehead. And right now, he's the difference in the game. A 2-run home run, his 20th in the first inning on a hanging slider by Justin Masterson.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and small expert. So Dan Otero takes over here in the 6th inning. So the A's are going to need some good work from their bullpen. Otero's going to get an out here as Cabrera to Smith for out number 1. 104 pitches for A.J. Griffin. Only 1 run allowed, and it was an unearned run. 5 walks, so
number 10.
Not quite as sharp as he would like, but he leaves with a 2-1 lead.
And needs 12 outs from the bullpen. And that's always a tough. I mean, he's probably more concerned now about the number of pitches and not being able to go deeper in the game. But what Mark Burley said really a week ago tomorrow, Saturday game he pitched at 5 1/3. He was upset with himself for not going deeper. But starting pitchers know that if they don't go deep in the game, it's going to put a tough burden on the bullpen.
Levin starts to throw as Yan Gomes steps in. Indians have stranded 7 through the first 5 innings. In the first part of the season, the Indians were scoring a lot of runs, but the offense has slowed down as of late. They're still 4th in the league in runs scored, which is sitting in a pretty good spot. But scuffling a little bit as of late. rolled, and it's just foul. Scott Berry, the third base umpire, called it. Throw the flag. Plus, it's the sixth inning, so you got to go. What are you going to do? You're going to leave it in your. You can't leave the flag in your pants, right? Come on, throw the flag.
But they don't carry over either. If you don't,
they do not carry over. That's what I'm saying.
Don't use them, you lose them. Leave it in your pants.
Right field, foul territory, and Moss cannot quite get it. So they count 1-2 to Yan Gomes. Chisenhall will be next, left-handed hitter. Gomes hit into a double play in the second inning. The Indians had 2 on and nobody out.
And really, right now, both pitchers are single ball pitchers. Otero, send him out of the A's bullpen, and Masterson, we've seen him for 5 innings. Hernandez will be pitching tomorrow. See him near the camp in the dugout.
So Otero hates the outside corner, gets the strikeout. Now you have a question for athletics analyst Bip Roberts? Tweet your question to @CSN Athletics with the hashtag A's Talk. And your question could be answered tonight during A's postgame live. CSNCalifornia.com, your interactive home for A's baseball all season long. 2 outs for Chisenhall. Swings at the first pitch. Hits it foul, left side. Chisenhall a walk and a fly ball to left field. Otero on in relief of Griffin here in the 6th inning. It's jammed. Soft line drive into the glove of Lowry. And Otero, nice job. 3 up, 3 down inning. Bottom of the 6th coming up. California is brought to you by Eric's Deli Cafe. Celebrating 40 years of bringing it to the plate. Stop by Eric's and enter to win 40 years of free sandwiches with Derek. 17,491 is the crowd tonight here at the Coliseum.
Leading off the bottom of the sixth inning for
Busy
the
next
Athletics.
door as well. The
Right
circus
fielder,
is in
number
town
16,
at the arena right next door. A busy night, busy weekend.
And busy homestand because they're going to be leaving about the same time the A's leave or finish this homestand.
The Mariners will be in town Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And the Mariners have played the A's tough this year, so that'll be a good series. And then a road trip. Well, it'll be a road trip day. If you're a fan, sit back and enjoy, because it's not going to be easy. But the A's will be playing some good teams at Baltimore, at Detroit.
That was similar to the Big Ten game road trip last year to Detroit and then New York and finished in Texas. And that was a big one for the A's down the stretch. But you're right. Comerica Park is always tough for any team, as the A's experienced last year, the division series. Memorial Park in Camden Yards.
Driven to center. Bourne is there, and that's out number 1.
August the 31st, State Farm will be accepting equipment donations to help benefit local youth baseball leagues. Before the game, bring new or gently used equipment to the State Farm booths on the Park Plaza and gate C and D. Fans who donate equipment will receive a drawstring bag while supplies last and be entered for a chance to win an autographed baseball. Pitch in to help State Farm get communities to a better state. I bet they want your autograph, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I bet they do.
Yeah,
I bet they'll be standing in line and say, I won't do it until I get Dwayne and Glenn on the same basement. How about that? A former member of the tribe.
I think one would probably be a little more lucrative than the other. 1-0 to Cespedes. Speaking of the Tigers, Ray, how about what happened today? Now, the Royals and the Tigers are playing a 5-game series. They played last night. In a doubleheader today, it was a makeup game from an April 23rd rainout. So, game last night, doubleheader today, and then tomorrow and Sunday. Game 1, the Royals beat the Tigers 2-1. Detroit edges 2 hits. Game 2, the Royals beat the Tigers 3-0. Tigers had 4 hits. Can you believe that?
No,
in Detroit.
I cannot believe that.
So the Royals sweep the doubleheader in Detroit. The Tigers get a total of 6 hits on the day. Close. Cespedes was able to hold up.
Well, that was a big sweeping slider way out of the strike zone, and appealed to Ted Barrett at first base, said no, fortunately. Victor Martinez was acquired by the Red Sox, and part of that trade was this pitcher, Mr. Masterson. That was so the Red Sox. Victor was there as a kind of a trade deadline player.
So the Royals pick up 2 full games today. How about that? So the Indians have a chance to pick up a game. Towards second, Kipnis has it, and that's out number 2. Danny Duffy, the young left-hander, back from elbow surgery, who the Royals think is going to be good. Well, he pitched great in game 1 of that series. And then James Shields got the win in game 2. Holland got the save in both games. That's a big day for the Royals.
The A's know Danny Duffy's good. Yes, he has done well against the Athletics.
So young left-hander. So the Royals are.
When you think about it,
in it, man.
There's 6.5 back. And they have 3 more games. I mean, it's a wild thought, but just think a 5-game sweep with the top team, and you jump yourself right in 3.5 games. Man.
And you know what, Ray? They got, like you said, tomorrow and Sunday, 2 more games. But after that, the Royals and the Tigers still have 6 games left against each other. So there's an opportunity there. And you know what? The Royals are playing great baseball, so they're in the mix, and they're even closer in the wild card. A few more teams to deal with. Fastball, Moss could not pull the trigger, and Masterson has settled in. He's retired 9 in a row. 7th inning coming up. Jason Giambi, a walk-off home run against the White Sox. Becomes the oldest player in Major League history to walk-off home run. 42 days younger was Hank Aaron. So Hank Aaron was the only guy older than Jason Giambi to hit a walk-off home run. Hank did it way back in 1976. And the Indians people rave about Jason Giambi. Terrific in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Get you a clutch hit. Said he still gives you a really good at bat.
He does. I mean, and you know, if this game stays the same, he'll be in the game late.
Somewhere.
And it may be the ninth inning. The A's hope to have at least a lead going to the ninth inning. And Matt Balfour pitches tonight. Probably we'll see Jason, depending on who's due up. But Ty Van Berkeley in front of him. But Jason Giambi is such a great influence on this club, in the clubhouse, on the young players. And really, you have to really think about certain players leaving the game, because the game changes when players like Rivera, who's retiring after this year. Jason Giambi continues to play. Sean Doolittle trying to get 3 more outs. And so it's set up with Otero the 6th, Doolittle with the matchups as the 7th. You'd think Cook would have the 8th and Balfour the 9th. That's the ideal pitching set.
That one's hit deep to left center. Smith is back. Cespedes is back. Cespedes leaps up against the wall. He can't get it. And Drew Stubbs has a double.
And a catchable ball. Cespedes got to it and jumped and just missed it. But it was hit too far. It was connected very nicely by Drew Stubbs. Where the fastball supposed to be in, left it out. And as was the case against Altuve and Corcoran against the Astros. And watch Cespedes as he gets to the ball. Tremendous speed, but as he jumps, he just missed it. Looked like he had it all the way and just maybe right off the thumb of his glove. Fortunately, Seth Smith backing up because the speed of Stubbs stops at second, but excellent speed.
And here's Bourne, and Doolittle is going to have to hurry. He throws, and they just get Bourne at first on the sacrifice. Drew Stubbs is very, very fast.
Did you think he had a home run?
No.
I think he did. It's not Cleveland.
He hit that. He hit that well.
Yeah, it's not Cleveland. That's a triple.
My thought was, when I looked where he was when the ball came off the wall, I'm thinking he's got a shot at a triple because he is super fast.
Yeah, there's the case of running, and if it's a home run, you can stop, but you have to run. And you're right. They have that kind of speed and to be trotting out of the box.
In a one-run game?
In a one-run game.
Here's Swisher, and Swisher lines one to right on the first pitch. And the Indians have tied it here in the 7th against Doolittle. So Swisher comes through with a big hit for the Tribe.
Well, Stubbs can breathe easier now. He does score the tying run. Fastball away, and Nick Swisher just pokes it to right field with the infield in. That's the
number 22,
again the best
Jason
for
Kipnis.
a hitter with the infield in, and especially Swisher makes contact more times than not and does that there.
And you see that swing, very controlled, and you wonder, Ray, if he wasn't looking for something on the outer half, and he got it. Because he didn't pull off the ball at all. He really stayed on it. So Swisher gets his 38th RBI. He's got a couple of hits tonight. Here's Kipnis. Fastball inside. Kipnis walked, lined out, and doubled. So he's hit some balls hard tonight. Way inside, 3-0. It's the switch hitter Santana waiting in the on-deck circle. And that one just missed low, and it's a walk. So a double, a sacrifice, a single, and a walk. So the 6th walk issued by the A's pitchers. None of them have scored, but you are
now batting number 41
with danger.
Carlos Santana.
You know, one thing Bob Melvin has said and always thinking about, 2-run home run in the first inning, but you can't sit around and think that's enough. And unfortunately, the A's have not been able to score the next 5 against Masterson, and now they see the game is tied, and the Indians once again threatening to take the lead.
Tough hitter here in Carlos Santana. Santana, as a right-handed hitter, 304. As a left-handed hitter, 240.
First pitch slider after 4 fastballs missed to Kipnis.
And that one's popped up on the infield. Infield fly rule is called. So a big out there, and that's out number 2. Ishak and Lemons now for the A's. So here's a left-handed hitter, Michael Brantley.
Number 23, Michael Brantley.
Doolittle last pitched on Wednesday, and he took the loss in the game against the Astros.
And that was the ball that Altuve in the extra innings.
That's
that
right,
Altuve had a ball to a single, then Corcoran off for the left center field wall. And those were pitches that were supposed to be inside, similar to the one that Stubbs hit.
First pitch to Brantley, and it almost hit him up around the shoulders. 1-0 the count. A single, a pop out, and a line out to center. The line out to center came with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 5th inning. It was a big out for A.J. Griffin. That's the last hitter Griffin faced.
And no surprise, A.J. Griffin has a no decision.
Yep. Well, it's tough to get a decision, especially a win, when you go 5 innings. And if you do leave with a lead.
And it better be a big, if you go, it better be more than 1.
Breaking ball. Brantley tried to wait on it, and he swung through it.
Maybe nothing else, learning something with the first pitch slider to Santana for strike, and now Brantley. Obviously the hitter's thinking fastball because Sean Doolittle, since joining the club last season, been a dominant fastball pitcher.
The fastball is high, 94 miles an hour. 2-2 the count. Pitch is down and away, and it's a full count, and well, that'll help the Indians because it'll get Swisher and Kipnis moving on the pitch.
If he throws him a hard slider, might get a strikeout. It's got to be sitting fast.
And it's up and in, and the bases are loaded. And the hitter will be the switch hitter Cabrera. So 3 switch hitters in this Indians lineup. So 7 walks now by A's pitchers. Tampa Bay Rays won tonight at home, 5-4. It was a walk-off win for the Rays. Tampa Bay has been struggling a little bit in the month of August after the huge month of July. Remember, they won 21 games in July. The Rays
now batting
and the A's, the 2 wild card teams right now in the American League. Rays are thinking bigger, though.
Oh, yeah.
They won. The Red Sox lost tonight, so Tampa Bay just 1 game back in the AL East. First pitch to Cabrera. And he hits it high to left field. Playable for Smith near the line. He's got it side retired. So for the second time, the Indians leave the bases loaded, but they do get a run. So we're tied 2-2, 7th inning stretch.
Saturday, August 31st, after the A's played the Tampa Bay Rays at OAK Coliseum. Bring the family and enjoy the show from the outfield grass. On-field capacity is limited. Purchase a special field level ticket package for the game, which includes a co-branded Green Day and Oakland A's cap. For tickets and information, log on to oaklandathletics.com/greenday.
Well, we got in-depth sports news for the Bay Area fan. Go deep with Sportsnet Central. It's brought to you by Hyundai, and it's tonight at 10:30 on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Highlights from our game here. Both the Raiders and the 49ers playing exhibition games on the road tonight. And we have all the highlights from that. Dave Feldman in a Met 3.
Number 20, Josh Donaldson.
It's Authentic Fan Friday, as always, here at the Coliseum. The Comcast Sportsnet Value Deck right above us. It's always a fun little party going on up there. There they are. And they're seeing a good ball game. 2-2, bottom of the 7th inning. Masterson back to work. The deal with Masterson is he has retired 9 in a row. He's thrown 86 pitches now, and we're in the bottom of the 7th. So he's got some left in him, I would believe. Donaldson goes around, says Alfonso Marquez.
And that was kind of a late call. Watch Marquez with the ball past Gomes. And I don't know. Watch Donaldson's the bad hit. Does he go through? You know, that's a close call for a first base umpire, but it was the home plate umpire that made the call. Got it. Can do the old Adrian Beltre. One guy's learned to do that. Takes the possible call from the home plate umpire away.
2-1 to Donaldson, who has flied out and sacrifice bunt. He hits that one hard right to Chisenhall. Chisenhall across the diamond, and that's out number 1. The 10 in a row retired by Masterson. First couple innings he had to work hard, but he's indeed settled in.
And double figures and ground ball outs again.
So Smith will hit. First pitch is outside. We talked about the fact that the A's will be in Baltimore next weekend. And the Orioles are starting to struggle some. They lost again tonight to the Colorado Rockies 6-3 in Baltimore. So the Orioles have lost 4 straight and 5 of 6. And remember, they gave up 3 walk-offs in Arizona.
Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to get back to the American League.
Could be, but it didn't.
Diamondbacks and Rockies.
Yeah. Cook starts to throw. The Orioles 5.5 back in the East. Smith hits a shot. Shift is on. Kipnis way out in shallow right field, and he throws Smith out. It's about as far into right field as you'll see a second baseman play. And it worked.
It definitely worked, because if he's playing normal position, you don't even see him in that shot. And he's in a normal position probably, unless he makes a fantastic dive. He doesn't get to it, but plays the ball off the grass. Played it easily, nicely, and Seth Smith frustrated.
So 2 outs for Vogt. Vogt a walk and a foul out. And the first pitch missed inside a little bit. Yankees beat the Red Sox 10-3 at Fenway Park. Soriano 3 for 4 with a 3-run homer and 4 RBIs.
They're happy he accepted the trade.
Ray, he's got 18 RBIs in his last 4 games. 4 games. That ties a major league record for most RBIs in a 4-game stretch.
Alex who?
18 RBIs. Right field and a base hit. Both drops one in. So a 2-out single. He's got a 2-out single in the first. And then a Cespedes home run. 2-out rally here.
Once you pull the hands in, they had to. If he extends the arms, probably breaks his back. So maybe some 2-out magic for the A's. They hope so. As Vogt pulls the hands in perfectly and has that slight uppercut swing. Gets a top spin on the ball and gets a base hit.
So 6 hits now for the A's, and that breaks the stretch of 11 consecutive hitters retired by Masterson. Sogard has bounced out twice. Once to the pitcher and once to first. Right field, headed for the corner. Vogt digging for third, and Gallegos going to wave him home. And the throw to the plate is up the line, and he's safe. Sogard is out at third, but the A's take the lead. A poor throw by Kipnis, and that helped Vogt slide in ahead of the tag. So the A's take a 3-2 lead. And here it is.
Pull the hands in just like Vogt did. Hit the ball down in the corner. And the important play, or part of this play, is the Kipnis at second base. If you watch him, it looks like he knows he has all kinds of time. Watch Stephen Vogt. Don't even look. Just look at your third base coach, and you're going to be sent, so don't break stride. Mike Gallego sent him all the way. But as the throw came in, Gomes had to come up the line. But watch Kipnis, when he got the throw from the right fielder, it's as if I got all kinds of time. And there's a throw and a bad throw. Way up the line. And fortunately, Vogt crossed the plate before. Yeah, he's going to let the home plate umpire know. He did. As the throw went to third base. Masterson back-to-back hits by the 8th and 9th place hitters. But maybe defensive Kipnis, Mike Gallego, always aggressive, and give him a lot of credit for sending Vogt. But maybe he didn't have a grip on the baseball. You know, because to make a throw like that, which was a horrible throw, there had to be something in the way that the throw came from Kipnis, because he did have a lot of time. Maybe too much.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Well, Kipnis, he walked off the field at the end of the inning with his head down, and he walked off slowly the whole way. So I think he knew he had a shot.
Oh, he definitely had a shot. I think you're right. He'd have been out by 10 feet if it's a good throw. But we saw Donaldson in Toronto throw a change up to second on what should have been a double play. But if you don't have a good grip, you're making the quick turn, and maybe it just does not come out of the glove the way you'd like, and get the type of grip on the ball to make a strong throw. A's are happy, fortunate. They'll take the run.
Gomes, good swing, fouls it back 1-2. Yan Gomes 0 for 3. He'll be followed by Chisenhall and Stubbs.
About the 2 pitches Masterson made, he has been masterful tonight, but those pitches were left up a little bit. Not much sinking action on the pitches. Both hit in that inning, Vogt and Sogard. Difference there for the right-hander. He gives up the hit down the right field corner, which is always easier for a run to score from first base. If it's down the left field line, much harder.
1-2 to Yan Gomes, the catcher. Holds up on a slider, 2-2. Indians have stranded 10 through 7 innings, including the bases loaded twice. Slider maybe got a little bit more on the plate than Cook would want. Cook is ready. Fastball fouled upper deck to our right. Good battle here between Cook and Gomes. Gomes has 8 home runs, so he's got some power.
One slider he pulled foul. If Ryan Cook throws the top of the slider, he's capable, which the hard biting slider down and away. The fence going away.
The shot. Lowry grabs it 1 out, throws to first, and it's up and away. Hayes Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Cache Creek's endless summers, waves of cash every day. Visit CacheCreek.com for details.
Now batting, number 8, Lonnie Chisenhall.
So Chisenhall will hit. Hall is the 8th place hitter. He has walked, hit a fly ball to left, and popped out to short. Swings late and it's 0-1. The Astros are leading the Angels down in Anaheim. That's a 3-1 game in the 6th inning.
And they don't want to see that again because they've had a tough time with the Astros. Because the Astros won 2 out of 3 against the A's, playing much better baseball. They may lose 100 this year, but it may not be that way the next few years.
Slowly hit to Lowry, who grabs it, throws on the run, and that's out number 2.
We have not seen too many guys better than Jed Lowry when it comes to charging and getting enough on the throw, on the move. He does it so well. Ball not hit that hard. Chisholm out of the box very quickly, but Lowry charged, strong throw, and if he stops to set himself and takes extra steps, instead makes a strong enough throw on the run to get the speedy hitter.
First pitch to Drew Stubbs is a fastball right there for a strike.
The ball in the glove, and knowing that he's made it so often, it's not an unusual play for him to make it as well as he does.
Slider just missed outside. Stubbs with the big double leading off the 7th, and then he scored on Swisher's hit. Also grounded out and struck out. Drew Stubbs. Shoots that one, and it's fair. Reddick picks it up, and Stubbs is going to have a double. Just fair. In fact, it may have hit right on the line. Ted Barrett had a pretty good look at it, so Stubbs has his 2nd double.
Well, as a fastball up, it was slicing, but did not slice enough from the A standpoint. And this time Stubbs was running because it was not a ball that he thought would be a home run. Definitely fair. Reddick got to it quickly, and there are 2 outs, and difference in 90 feet might not make a lot of difference, but keeping him at 2nd versus 3rd does make a difference.
So 7th hit for the Indians, and here's Michael Bourne. Bourne is 0 for 3 with a sacrifice. So the tying run at 2nd now with 2 outs. Stubbs takes off, and the pitch is foul back. Better make it if you're going. 1-run game, top of the 8th inning, 2 outs.
It's not being held. And Donaldson, once contact was made, he did break, but you know that's a time you don't even want to think about covering. Just hold your position.
And you watch that, you weren't going to throw him out.
Exactly. Pitchers take the inside move to try to keep the runner close at 2nd, but with infielders playing in a normal position, nobody's thinking about trying to hold him close.
And the pitch to Bourne drops. Bourne with runners in scoring position this year, a .314 hitter. Not close, and it's 3-1 with Swisher waiting in the on-deck circle. And that one off the plate, and it's a walk. So the 8th walk issued by the A's tonight. 2 extremely fast runners aboard for Swisher. So more tense moments
Now batting, number 33.
Swisher struck out with a slow curveball from A.J. Griffin in his first at bat, but since then, single walk, single. Don't boo him and wake him up. He's a good enough hitter as it is, and sure he was standing in the on-deck circle just hoping Bourne got on. So a tough battle for Cook. Yes, those are the numbers against Ryan Cook by Nick Swisher.
First pitch is a strike. Swisher, a strikeout, a single, a walk, and a single. He scored a run. He's knocked in a run. So Swisher's had a good night. Hard slider. Swisher did not swing at that one, and the count is 1-1.
Okay, with Stubbs not being held at second, and with the speed as you mentioned, now a stolen base.
Yeah,
it becomes a double steal, and then you have two runners in scoring position, depending what happens with Swisher and the ball that he sees from Cook.
High fastball, swing and miss, and the count is 1-2. So Swisher will go for a little walk.
Trying to go upstairs, and he tried to pull a pitch that was away from him. He knows it after he swung and missed.
Way high, 2-2. 97 miles an hour from Cook, but not close. .24 pitches for Cook here in the 8th inning. Feels like the 9th, but it's only the 8th. 2-2 pitch is bounced. Sogar charges, underhands to first, and Cook gets out of it. So, 2 more stranded for the Indians. They've stranded 12 through 8 innings. The A's lead 3-2. Here's your game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. This was in the very first inning. Cespedes with a 2-out, 2-run homer. His 20th of the year, so the A's had a 2-0 lead. And the Indians would get their first run on the throwing error by Reddick. The run would be allowed to score. Ball was out of play, so it was 2-1. Swisher off Doolittle, RBI single in the 7th. And the game was tied at 2. And then the daring base running, Mike Gallego sending Stephen Vogt. And Vogt gets in. And that was in the bottom of the 7th inning. And that's the run that gave the A's the lead. So now it's the bottom of the 8th inning. 2-7-0 for the Indians. 3-6-1 for the Athletics. So the Indians are going to look at that 12 men left on base if they lose this game, and that may stick with them. They've had plenty of opportunities, but the A's pitchers have made a pitch when they needed it.
Well, the A's would love to see 12 men left on base in that yet.
Line shot toward right. Stubbs quickly gets back. Callaspo is retired, so Callaspo is 0 for 4. Well, join us tonight on A's Postgame Live for the A-Team, a special presentation of us broadcasters, Korak, Catronio, Fossey, and myself. We're going to get together, talk about tonight's game. And it's only on A's Postgame Live and 95.7 The Game after the game. So they will slide over here, and we'll do the A-Team. Well conducted by Vince Catronio, of course. Vince kind of takes the steering wheel and just drives us home.
Well, it's the A-Team. Let's hope it's not a D rating.
No. And he'll never allow that to happen. Win, lose, or draw.
That's why you're putting it all on him, right?
That's right. Vince Catronio drives the A-Team station wagon, baby. And Roy's right in the middle of the road. Smile, Vinny. Talking about it. Lowry hits one well to right field. More action for Stubbs, and he hustles back, and he makes the catch. So a couple of well-hit balls by Callaspo and Lowry, but nothing to show for it. Balfour throwing in the A's bullpen as expected.
Now batting.
Lowry shaking his head as he goes back and hit the ball well, but not carrying well, which is expected this time of the night at the Coliseum. Morning track, maybe off the out-of-town scoreboard tomorrow early evening. Ball down the left field, in left field, so play will be halted.
On the top of the ninth, it'll be Kipnis, Santana, Brantley. If anybody got on, it would be Asdrubal Cabrera. So the hitters that Balfour will face. 3, 4, and 5 in the Indians lineup.
And at 100 pitches for Masterson, which has been an outstanding game for him. Just with that couple of mistakes, actually, the A's 3 runs to this point have all come with 2 outs. Big ones in the first and an even bigger one in the 7th.
Reddick tonight 1 for 3. He had a 2-out single in the first right before the Cespedes home run. Sinker at 90 miles an hour. So Reddick will take a little walk. 1-2 the count. Hit hard. Kipnis can't get it, and Reddick has his second hit. So Reddick is 2 for 4. And Cespedes will hit.
And again, it went down to get a low sinking fastball. Masterson looks like he's going to be removed, but excellent hitting again by Josh Reddick. The 5 home runs last weekend, 2 hits tonight, both with a good sinker from Masterson.
So when it's time for change, take Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog expert. So Masterson leaves. We'll be back.
Sportsnet California is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports, and by Toyota. Do the math and save at your local Toyota dealer.
So Masterson, he pitched very well tonight, but a couple of two-out mistakes. And the Indians stranding lots of runners, and he pitches into the 8th inning. 107 pitches, but he will not get a win tonight. So the pitcher is Cody Allen. Youngster, when it's time for change, then Speedy Oil Change Tune-Up. Oil Change Tune-Up at Smog Experts. 65 strikeouts in 51 2/3 innings for Cody Allen.
And as much as Terry Francona would love to have seen Masterson stay in the game, possibly to get a win, don't take a chance of having Cespedes do the same thing he did in the first inning, and a hanging slider then, and I guess more of a possibility of making a bad pitch, having thrown 100+ pitches in the 8th inning.
Fastball is popped up foul. Cody Allen, very interesting. He was drafted in 2011 by the Indians, and he was in the big leagues in 2012. So only a year and a half in the minor leagues for Cody Allen. Pitched in 27 games last year for Cleveland. I think you're starting to see a little bit more of that with relievers. That's less time in the minor leagues,
especially if they're hard throwing.
Reddick with a huge jump, and he'll make it without a throw and without a need to slide.
And the auxiliary scoreboards, they think Balfour's already in the game. But Josh Reddick, what a job. There's your reliever. Something about relievers that don't really pay attention to base runners. Yep. Well, there's a case of Allen paying zero attention. So Cespedes get another big 2-out hit.
2-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Lays off. Had a very intelligent baseball person said to me, you know, if they're throwing 96 in the minor leagues, they're probably going to throw 96 in the big leagues.
That's right. That's right. But what they can do in the 96 in the big leagues versus the minor leagues is a little bit different. But that good hook that Allen throws, Cespedes, good job laying off. Does he throw it again? Which he might. I'm going to take a chance with the 96 fastball.
He did, and he's going to get away with it. That one skied right side of the diamond. And Swisher waits. He's got it. Side retired. Ace trying to runner at second. So more tense moments coming up. It's the 9th inning. The A's with a 3-2 lead, and Balfour's coming in.
the AT&T Uverse Rewind. It was a little two-out magic. Steve Vogt with the base hit. Eric Sogard down the right field line into the corner. And Stephen Vogt, catchers normally don't run fast. Fortunately, this throw up the line. He crossed on plate before Sogard was out. And Vogt pointed the plate. Alfonso Marquez confirmed, yes, you scored, and that's where the A's stand now, 3-2, top of the 9th inning. So 3 runs scored by the Athletics, 3 coming with 2 outs, 2 in the first, 1 in the 7th, and Grant Balfour will try to close it.
So Balfour comes in looking for save number 31. And he's going to face Kipnis, Santana, and Brantley.
Now batting, number 22, Jason Kipnis.
So it's been Griffin, Otero, Doolittle, Cook. And now Balfour. So Cespedes now in left. Young comes into game and plays center, and Seth Smith is out. Kipnis with a couple of walks, a double, and a line out. Pitch, a breaking ball for a strike to Kipnis. Kipnis has 15 home runs on the year. Good pitch by Balfour, and that is out number 1.
Mason Kipnis stepped out after the first pitch strike thrown by Balfour. Stepped back in and then got the fastball in on his hands.
Here's your saves leaders. Balfour 41, 5th.
Carlos
Jim Johnson leading the American League.
How many blown saves for him?
He's got 9. I think it's 9. That's 9 or 10. But
3 in a row against the Diamondbacks?
No. Here's Santana. Good breaking ball. It's a strike.
Think of the great Rocky Colavito. Remember how you used to point the bat? What would he do with Balfour? How long would he have to keep the bat up there pointing?
Rocky may say something to him
before he brought it back. Balfour has his routine, and Santana has that. He's up on his front foot, up on the toe, so he cannot stay in that position that long. He will not stay like that if Balfour takes a long time. He'll back out. It's a lot of tension on the right foot and right leg. As a catcher, can DH, can play first, and Santana very versatile. Terry Franco. There's that set up for Santana up on the right front foot and on the toes.
Fastball just a touch inside.
Just off the plate in.
Inside again. So 3-1 to a dangerous hitter in Santana. Fastball right there on 3-1, and Santana took it.
And Santana's not there to take him. Not trying to draw a walk. I mean, he's thinking about swinging, and for some reason doesn't pull the trigger. And thankfully, from the A's standpoint, he didn't. That was center cut.
3-2 pitch. Low, and he walked it. base runner here in the ninth. Join us Sunday, Comcast Sportsnet California, coming up at 7 p.m. The San Jose Earthquakes take on Sporting KC live from Buckshaw Stadium. Complete Earthquakes coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSNCalifornia.com. So San Jose versus Sporting Kansas City, Sunday, 7 o'clock.
For Cleveland, number 4, Mike Aviles, now running.
So Santana with a walk, and Aviles will pinch run for him, and Michael Brantley will hit. So there's Aviles, the pinch runner. Brantley is 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. Brantley has 8 home runs, 58 runs batted in. Cabrera is the on deck here. And that one a strike on the outside corner.
Well, you know, Jason Giambi's lurking in the dugout. It's just a matter of when Terry Francona might use it. But not Cabrera, possibly Gomes if it gets that far. But did a great job pinch hitting in Colorado. Jason Giambi. Almost a manager.
But looking at him standing there, he looks just like a manager.
You don't want to mess around
That
with
is
either.
a manager's stance right there. The only thing is, I don't think a manager would have a shin guard on.
No. This is Frank Robinson when he was the player manager a long time ago. Now Balfour just, he knows he's got lefty of Brantley, lefty in the on deck hitter.
And that one fouled. Bounces off to facing a second level. So Balfour ahead in the count, 1-2. The A's know that the Rangers have lost, so a chance to pick up a game in the standings. Aviles, the pinch runner, is at first, which is off. And that one is hit toward Lowry. Dives, he cannot quite get it, and it's a base hit. So Brantley has his second hit, and the Indians are coming at you again.
So close with the dive, but the fact that Lowry was shading up the middle, hoping for a double play ground ball. Ball shot past him. Where he's positioned, had to be close to second and normal fielding position. With nobody on, that's an out. But that's the difference of having a runner at first and thinking about turning a double play.
So that's hit number 8 for the Indians. And now it's Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera walk, pop up to short, and a couple of fly balls to left. Flew out to left with the bases loaded in the 7th inning.
Notice that Balfour has been trying to throw the fastball inside the lefties, but they've not been called strikes. It's the outside pitch that Marquez has been calling, but that's also the pitch the left-handers have been thinking about and accomplishing hitting the ball to left field.
And off speed for a strike to Cabrera. Jan Gomes is the on-deck hitter. Cabrera's ready, so is Balfour, and the pitch is lined to left. No, Donaldson has it, double play, and that's the ball game.
Wow.
A line shot. Donaldson leaped, caught it, and they double off Aviles at second, and that's how the ball game ends. Wow.
Unbelievable, the fact that Donaldson catches the ball and he hurriedly throws the second, almost threw it too high. And another remarkable play by Sogard, but it was headed to left field. A curve ball that was left up. Donaldson jumping, catching the ball. Avila's too aggressive, and there's the lob. And nice play by Sogard, catching the ball, slipping on the bag, and turning the double play. So only 13 left on base.
So Balfour the reaction. And the Indians are going to go away extremely frustrated tonight. And the A's, I think they're going to sneak out of here with a win.
They did sneak out all right. That's right. That's amazing.
Pick up a game, so they're just a half game out now of the Texas Rangers. But, hey, sometimes you got to catch a little luck. And that ball was hit right at Donaldson. It looked off the bat. It was going to be into left field, but A's make a couple defensive plays, and the Indians did not. Remember, the Indians missed the play at the plate, and when it's all said and done, it's again come down to those little things, and it turns out to be a one-run game against a good team like the A's, and if you don't execute, they're probably going to beat you, and they did tonight.
Remember, Aviles was sent in as a pinch runner. The one cardinal rule that you have, if you're a runner, the line drive's hit in front of you, you don't run. You don't be so aggressive. Aviles did, fortunately from the A standpoint, because he ran into the double play by being too aggressive. Donaldson a great play and the lob to second base. But you're right, you make a mistake. The A's, they've been grinders all the way down to the end. This was another one, and then reaction by Balfour was, oh no, he thought it was a base hit, and it was going to be another one left field. Fortunately, it went right to Donaldson.
So a lot of heroes again tonight. The A's hang on and win it. Stephen Vogt does a nice job behind the plate. He's getting a chance to play a lot. And when you get a chance to play a lot, things start to come a little easier for you.
You hope so. And he's swinging the bat a lot better considering his first hit. Major league hit was a home run. A big base hit tonight, though. And he gets to join us.
And he is. Stephen Vogt is standing by downstairs. Before we get to the sprint from first to home, take us through that last at bat. What are you thinking with Cabrera, and what was your feeling? Where did your heart go when you saw the ball be lying toward third?
Oh man, you can imagine where my heart went, probably where your guys did too. But we were thinking just start him off soft and get it down in the zone, get him to roll over to Sogi for a double play and get out of there. But Bal threw the ball pretty well tonight, and was able to get that kind of a line drive to Josh, and he made a great play.
Well, let's get to the real base running, because you haven't caught your breath yet.
No,
I can tell. I know, but that's fine. But when you're running the ball down on the corner, you look back initially, but how much do you watch Gallego, and how much do you say, I'm going to run hard to him because you figure you're going to be sent?
Oh, I mean, that's just it. Off the bat, I had to look to see, exactly how the right fielder was taking the approach, and then as soon as I saw I was away from him, I just put my head down and said, pick up Gallego, and I was able to, he just kept waving me, and I put my head down, and I just ran as hard as I could, and as soon as I saw the catcher coming up the line, I knew I had to avoid the tag.
So you were not at all surprised that Gallego sent you. Obviously, there's 2 outs, tie game, but it didn't look like you were surprised because you were running hard the whole way.
No, I mean, that's how I've always played. You put your head down and run, especially at 2 outs, you make the defense stop you. And, I was fully prepared to go all the way and just put my head down and go, and fortunately we were able to get the run.
You're able to catch another winner, which is great. You have your starting pitcher, A.J. Griffin. Explain, if you can, what's happening with A.J., with especially the number of walks. He's been giving up home runs, but what are you seeing as a catcher with regard to A.J. and the pitches, the way he's throwing now?
I mean, right now AJ's just rushing down the hill a little bit. He needs to stay over the rubber a little bit more. But that's the thing about AJ. That's 2 games in a row where he's been a little erratic, but he's battled, and he still makes pitches when he needs to and keeps us in the game. And he's doing an absolutely phenomenal job, given that he could be doing a lot better. But he's doing his job. He's keeping us in the game, and he's doing the best with what he's got right now. But I think he's going to be great. He's just got to stay back over the rubber just a little bit more.
Now, Stephen, you talk about him rushing. What's the difference between working quickly, which he does do, and he does that when he's pitching well, and rushing?
Well, sometimes with his tempo, I think he gets in such a rush that he rushes with his mechanics. When he's coming up and when he brings his front knee up, he needs to just sit back over the rubber a little bit longer. So I definitely think his tempo can get him in trouble sometimes, but when he's on, he's awesome, and he's been doing great.
And you've been doing great. Another big hit tonight. Your first major league hit was a home run. How much bigger was the single tonight?
Oh, way bigger. I mean, I'll take those kind of hits any day. And we're just great to get the first game of this series and go into the weekend with a chance to take the series.
All right, Steven, nice job tonight, and great hustle going from first to home on the double.
All right, thanks. I'm going to go get some oxygen real quick.
And you deserve it. So quite a win tonight. The A's hang on, and they defeat the Cleveland Indians tonight by a final score of 3-2. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet California. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Dan Devone, and Bip Roberts is set to go from the studio.